Hello! Welcome to Good Morning Society. I'm Becca Scott.
I'm Ruel Gaviola. What are we doing?
I'm thinking like it's like a 70s disco sit-in.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the same thing. Folks at home, please join us if you're able to.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're getting funkier with it?
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit.
Guys, it's a funky Wednesday morning here in Los Angeles, and we're here to talk about board games.
Yeah.
And maybe just a little bit about RPG books. Yeah, you don't know about that.
No,
I
don't.
That could happen, just a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everybody. Good to see y'all here. We've got rainy Scotland. We've got sunny Oklahoma. We've got everyone from everywhere. It was a little rainy here in California recently.
Just on Saturday.
It was just the Saturday, right?
Poo-poo our Saturday
Yeah,
plans.
that was sort of weird. It came out of nowhere, I felt like.
You know, rainy Los Angeles.
Yeah. Which means no one knows how to drive for that day.
I don't leave the house those days, no.
That's smart.
No.
Very smart.
People are dangerous here. Oh, what's that mug you're drinking?
Look at these.
Is that a Good Morning Society mug?
Y'all may want to check this out. You can get your very own by clicking on the link that's going to be dropped, hopefully. Thank you. Look at that. It's like magic.
It is magic. That nightcat is magic. And you could also just type in shop.goodtimesociety.com in the old Googler.
Yes.
Which
Google.
used to be a browser, but now Google owns everything.
Yeah.
Except for the things Amazon owns.
Yeah, it's either Google or Amazon
Like
these
this
days.
platform.
Yes. You know, I got to say, Becca, it's so nice to be back here in person.
I'm so glad you're here
Yeah,
in person.
it was, you know, we were talking about it before we came on live. It's nice to know that if there's an emergency, we can do it, you know, from the, outside of the studio, but there's nothing like being in the studio.
And it's nice that you share, what's going on with you with people, because even though Ruel seems like the absolute perfect specimen and never does or says anything wrong in the world, always spreads light and joy, the physical form can get you down as well.
Yeah. Which is a real bummer, but it is what it is.
Unfortunately, we all have these human sacks we have to move around in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in my case, my one weakness are my knees, and those things tend to flare up every now and then, which
Your
is not
kryptonite.
fun. It is a total kryptonite, yeah. But hey, we're here. Super excited again to be talking about more than one more game, folks. We're going to be talking all kinds of games today.
But speaking of one more game, there's an emote.
Yeah.
You asked, we delivered 5 minutes before the show started.
Perfect timing as always.
That's right. You too, if you subscribe to the channel, can have your very own. It looks like the Good Morning Society logo, but it says one more game, as is our catchphrase and or demand on the show.
Yes.
This is episode 5, I believe.
It is, yeah. We've done 5. Time flies. I'm serious. Like, it feels like yesterday we just started, hey, let's launch this show.
I mean,
now we're here 5 episodes in.
Arguably, it was yesterday. Some say.
Yeah.
What is time?
Exactly.
Do we know?
Yeah.
Do we believe in it? I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah. But we've covered roughly 7 million games in that time, and we've got some more today. Should we jump right in?
Yeah, it's crazy that there's so many games that come out literally every day, and like sometimes it's tough to figure out what we're going to highlight. But you know what? We've got some that we're ready to highlight right now. Some really fun stuff. We're going to kick things off with the Iron Forest. Now, Becca, have you played a game called Ice Cool? It was like a little game.
Penguins?
With little penguins.
I've seen video of Ice Cool. I've not played myself.
This is the same designer, Brian Gomez. He took Ice Cool, he took the basic penguin flicking mechanism and decided, hey, let's make more of a strategic game of it. And you can see there's different levels.
This is 3D chess, but for flicking.
Totally. And as you can see, you're going to complete like different missions. You're going to unlock stuff. It's crazy to me that you can take something as simple as flicking and create this whole like little world around it.
Boy, can ya.
It's pretty awesome. There's some of the cards.
Hey, don't laugh at that.
There's some of the cards. There is the 3D box. In Ice Cool, you would put the box together. Here, you're literally building up up and about. So yeah, you're gonna.
Oh, there's lava.
Oh, there's dice too. I didn't know there were dice.
What?
What?
What do the dice do? Quick chat, tell us.
Yeah, you're gonna be rolling dice apparently. I don't know if
This
you're
is even more
clicking.
complex.
Whoa,
this
what's
is
that?
For
I don't even know what that is.
That's a choking hazard, actually, is what that is.
So not kid-friendly, folks. Let's be careful about that.
Well, a certain level of kid.
Yeah.
Once they upgraded to a higher level of kid, they may play this game.
So these are, I guess, these are the things you're flicking, not penguins, but little mechs or something. And look, you can see the dice buried up there. Maybe that unlocks that.
Swear thinks he sees a catapult.
Ooh.
So this is some next level flicking, everybody.
Yeah. So if you liked, Ice Cool, but you wanted something even cooler, here it is, Iron Forest. This is gonna be out sometime this year. I believe they had it on Kickstarter last year, and it is fulfilling.
Look, it's always satisfying to build a board physically.
Yeah.
And that's how you impress the nieces and nephews right there.
Seriously, yeah. And then you get the little mechs and the cards, and you're gonna be doing the flicking. There's the things you're gonna flick right there. So yeah, the Iron Forest, everybody.
I'm getting lost in the comments. All right.
Oh, chat. We love chat.
I'm really excited for this next one. It's about one of my favorite franchises.
Oh, it is.
And it is a completely different game, but same IP as my top 3 board games.
Ooh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like, I knew you were a fan of this IP, but I didn't know it was like that high up.
I am a huge fan of, should we say it?
Let's say it.
Dune.
So how do you say this? A war for
Arrakis.
Arrakis. Okay.
Ooh, okay, so this is a fun game we like to play at my house. It's called Let Me Explain Why You Should Love Dune in 7 minutes. Can I have 7 minutes of your time?
There we go.
This is David's recurring bit, but I'll do my best. Dune is set in a world where it's so far in the future that they've already had a Terminator-style event. This is such a tangent from this game. But and they have decided to go far in the opposite direction and not have computers and use the human body as a computer and develop it in different paths. So you have the Mentats that are masters of mind. They are repositories of knowledge. They are the computer mind. But you have the Bene Gesserit, the lady witches with the twinkly headdresses, and they manipulate bloodlines of these great houses by marrying into them and controlling the great houses, and they are all part of the Bene Gesserit, which is like this coven, essentially, that expands throughout the galaxy. And then you've got every one of the great houses is like a super trained fighter, and who am I forgetting? The Mentats. Anyway, they're sick as hell, and on Arrakis, I'm thinking of the Spacing Guild, because in this world, the way that you do intergalactic travel is you have to see all possible timelines, and the way that you do that is by harvesting spice, and spice is only on one planet. The planet Arrakis, better known as Dune.
Nice.
Where this game takes place.
Yeah, and you actually shot some very exclusive footage.
Ooh.
Was this at Gamma Expo?
Gamma Expo. I walked on the floor, I saw a Dune logo, and I walked straight to it.
Look at that.
I saw a demo of the game we're about to talk about, and I watched a little bit of the mechanics. The components are really beautiful. On BGG, you can see people have painted them, of course.
Of course.
They have the spice harvesters, which are, okay, so on Dune, a little setback. A little setback is the worms, the giant sandworms that are, 50 feet in diameter for like a small one, that come up out of the sand and suck everything back down with these millions of spiny teeth and suck the spice harvesters or people or anything moving on the sand into it, unless you are a Fremen who knows how to sand walk in a way that doesn't draw the attention of the sandworms. And Fremen can ride a sandworm. It's pretty sick. I don't know how they dismount. Do you? No one knows.
No one knows.
But
Okay.
getting on, now that's a death-defying feat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had no idea that, like, the sandworms, again, me coming, I'm not a huge Dune fan, but those things look frightening.
You could be, is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Just give me a little more time.
Nice. I love Paula Deming's comment up there. Do you have 7 minutes to hear about our Lord and Savior Dune?
Paula, hello!
Hey, Paula. Thanks for hanging
I'm
out.
so glad you're here. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, so I saw this game at Dice Tower West. 2 friends had set it up, and it looked pretty awesome. Like the table presence, I mean, you saw it in the little short video. It's amazing, folks. So
It's very good. I was reading the comments earlier, and it's similar. I think Simon created this as in the same vein mechanically as War of the Ring. Which is the Lord of the Rings version of this.
Yes.
But it's balanced differently. There were some people who said, well, this doesn't have the competing areas in which you can, like, if you're neglecting one path to victory, your opponent could take advantage of that. This doesn't have as much of those separate paths, but then other people came back at that and said, well, actually, this makes it a quicker game and a lot more accessible to newer players that aren't looking for that very, very crunchy experience. So, sounds like people who love War of the Ring just need to be ready that it is a simpler version of those mechanics. But it sounds really cool.
Yeah, very cool. And
That's a sandworm right there.
Yeah, sandworms.
Are you
those
scared?
Those things are scary.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it on the table. They're huge too. It's not like little minis. I mean, yeah, they're huge.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, it is a biggie. The designers, you brought up War of the Ring, the designers actually worked on War of the Ring as well. So
That makes sense.
Totally makes sense, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm frightened of those sandworms, but I want to check it out and play.
Yeah, I
Cool.
mean, who doesn't love a desert planet?
Right?
I mean, your hair never frizzes, for one.
I don't have that problem.
Okay, well, maybe that's why you don't care that much about Dune.
But what I do care about is this next game, Becca. This one, I'm going to have to ask you to help me pronounce it because all of my research, I don't know how to. I've been looking at this game.
Apistocracy. Apistocracy.
Apistocracy?
Hold on. We have.
Apistocracy?
Hold on. It's probably a made-up word, but I'm going to have my robot define it for me.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to turn to our robot friends, our robot overlords. They will let us know about how to pronounce
please, robot.
Apistocracy.
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 Apistocracy. Okay, so epistocracy is a real word, and it is pronounced. Does Wikipedia tell us? Let's go. Dictionary. Come on.
Oh, Paula says, like aristocracy, but with a P. Apistocracy. Bless you.
Thank you.
Apistocracy.
Apistocracy. Aristocracy.
I believe you pronounce it Dune.
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 Dune. We got it.
There it is. Nailed it. This one is by first-time designer Heather L. Dixon, who also did the art. And this is I mean, you had me at the description, 2 to 4 player game featuring worker placement, like boom, I'm in.
That's all we need.
But also, this
Easy to
is a
please.
really interesting twist. It also has some trick taking based on the game Whist. Have you played Whist before?
No, but Ray has. Ray, what do you know about Whist?
Ray, you play Whist?
It's like a beginner's. It's a good way to learn how to play bridge, which is like far more complicated.
Oh.
My father is
I've
a
always
bridge
wistfully
master.
wanted to.
Okay.
I played a lot. I was forced to play a lot of whist as a child.
And did you love it?
Yeah, whist is it's pretty fun. Bridge
Okay.
is very scary, but whist is fun.
Okay, so no bridge, yes, whist.
Okay. Yeah, so somehow this game is tied in worker placement with Whist. So maybe this is a gateway to becoming a bridge world champion. I don't know. But each player, you're hosting and you're trying to influence the first doors of the season. You're making connections, building influence, gaining invitations. So you are a debutante.
Look,
In Victorian
this is
London.
my genre.
Okay.
This is what I have been creating a whole role-playing game around.
Nice.
That we are recording later today. It's not live, so don't freak out. But I have been studying everything about how heating homes worked in Victorian
Wow, you're going
times,
deep.
and like it's important.
How did they
important.
heat homes back then? Was it through...
Usually a fire in every room, unless you were very fancy and rich, in which case, well, this is like late 1800s, and this game is set in 1851. But late 1800s, they did sometimes have a furnace in the basement of the house that would have vents to other rooms. That was
so
usually coal fire.
That was their central heating back then. Interesting.
It's very technical.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, I needed a furnace room. So I'm glad that they existed sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is the Kickstarter page. It is coming to Kickstarter soon. They don't have an exact date yet, sometime this year, but I'm very, very curious about how you work in a trick-taking game or whist with a worker placement game. That to me just sounds so fascinating, and for a first-time designer, and apparently Heather Dixon was a marketing manager somewhere or art director. I don't know exactly, but check out the page, folks, and there's plenty of information there for Apistocracy.
Apistocracy.
Apistocracy, or as we call it here, Dune.
Dune.
Okay, so moving right
Every
along.
game today is called Dune.
I love them all. Let me just quickly.
We've got a game called Tibetana, another game that sort of gives me a little tongue twister here. This is a 2-player game from first-time designers Borja Barinaga, Jose Cespedes, and Daniel Pons.
Cespedes, lawns.
Yeah.
A césped, cortar el césped
Ooh.
is to cut the lawn.
Muy bueno.
Gracias.
That's all I know. Tibetana, you're collecting energy from the territories to make new settlements. You're going to react to the effects of the unstable deities. So you're playing around with the gods, folks. And we all know that you mess around with the gods, nothing ever goes wrong.
You get bit.
Yeah.
I am loving these 3-dimensional aspects. This like psychedelic color scheme is not what you would expect with this type of like kind of evocative of a Hindi god.
Yes, yeah, and I don't know, maybe it is, but you're going to perform a couple of actions per turn, and basically you're trying to extract that energy. And I'd like to think that you're taking that energy for good, but again, we don't know. This will be coming out sometime later this year.
Okay, I don't know what you call this type of building, but if you can go to this first picture, it looks like you're stacking the buildings higher with successive levels in this kind of like pagoda-esque.
Pagodas, yes.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
That is really cool. Yeah. I love that. This game looks way more complex than this other game I'm about to mention, but Takinoko is a game about moving a panda around hexes and growing bamboo for the panda to eat. And it is so precious. It probably has very different gameplay, but like the stacking element on a collaborative game board is really fun. I
love that. Yeah, Takinoko, you're growing the bamboo and you send a little panda eat it.
Yeah.
And you have your little tummy. And
I believe it was the Emperor of China gave this panda to the Emperor of Japan, and he was like, I don't know what to do. Zookeeper, you figure it out. So the zookeeper is like, trying to keep the panda happy and then grow the bamboo, and the bamboo goes and eats the panda goes and eats the bamboo.
Yeah. So
the bamboo eats the panda?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I'm putting this in my horror game.
Yeah. So that one is Tibetana, folks.
Tibetana, also known as
Dune. The next game we're super excited about is Neon Rain. Now, that to me just screams 80s to me. I don't know why, but this one, Heroes Battle, an arcade-style dueling game. And there's not much about this game online yet.
But there's some important stuff.
Yes, some super important stuff, like the designers, Aaron Hine and Manny Tremblay. Folks, you may not know those names from Dice Throne. And also, Manny created Roth, which
I love.
Yeah. So, and also a game called Mad Kala, which I got to try at Dice Tower West. It's
Mad Kala.
Yeah, Mad Kala.
Is that for Druid City?
It is.
Yeah.
So it's got that Wonderland's War, world to it, but it takes the Mancala mechanism.
Ooh.
It's really clever. I was very, very impressed by it.
I've played so much Mancala in my life, and it's something I haven't touched in years.
Okay.
It was like my sisters and I would play for days on end.
Interesting. Was that from your folks or from friends, family, or was it just?
My family was a board game household.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
you know, like things you buy at the kids' store, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we were very into Mancala,
Interesting.
and that mechanic is just so simple yet complex. Like it really
Yeah.
was the first abstract, like think ahead kind of thing.
Right, right. So
that's
in
right.
Mancala, you are literally picking up pieces and placing them in like little bowls, I guess, or little spots, and you drop one in each until you run out of them, right? And then you're trying to pick
But if
them.
the last one you placed into a bowl had additional pieces within it, you pick up that whole
That whole
cup
thing.
and keep going. If you ever place your last piece into an empty cup, then you stop your turn.
Okay.
So you're always counting to make sure that you place in a cup that has something.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why as a kid I remember other kids playing, but I didn't get into it. I think it's too much counting for me.
Yeah, you're not a counter?
I'm not a counter.
I feel like I've seen you do very quick mental math.
I have, but it's not very good.
I just let Jake do tally
Yeah,
up.
it's like-
I have no idea if he actually won any of these games, actually, now that we mention it.
We're just very trusting. So that's Neon Rain, folks. That'll be out Q4 this year. It is a battler, so you're playing cards against your opponent, and
Probably two-player or
Yep.
two-player teams, I imagine.
yeah. Again, just very, very simple art at this point, but I'm looking forward to it just because the designers in this game are really well renowned.
Yeah, and they do have listed that there will be a solo variant.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm always down for the solo games. So Neon Rain, that'll be out later this year. Speaking of designers, the next one, I swear, I feel like I try to get this designer in every show because I love him so much. He's my favorite designer, Dr. Reiner Knizia, the one and true doctor.
Wait, is he really a doctor?
He is a doctor of math.
That's incredible.
Yeah. He was his whole story was he was a professor of math, loved board games, started designing board games. Like, oh, I like this better. I can do this for a living. And now he's designed over 700 games.
That is
It's incredible.
not surprising given the ubiquitousness of his name in this industry. That
Yeah.
is so impressive.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for 20 odd years or something like that. And
Makes sense.
yeah, it's amazing. So this game is called Rebirth. This is coming to Kickstarter later this year. And again, we talked about Reiner Knizia. I'm a huge fan. He does games like Raw, Quest for El Dorado, Lost Cities, and Genius. So that's 4 of the 700 plus. I'm not going to name them all this time. Maybe next time. But this one is this one's a tile laying game.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, it is a
Fast as you can.
Maybe we can. Anyways, the tile laying game. So you had me there, and you're just drawing a tile, placing face down, and then as you build the tile grid, you're going to start unlocking powers and abilities, and that's going to help you score more points. So again, it's one of the things I love most about the Good Doctor is that his games are very low on rules overhead. Maybe a page or two, and then he wants you to play, get into the game and figure out the strategy and stuff.
Learn by playing. It's the best way to teach.
It really is. So again, that's this is later this year. This is from Mighty Boards. They've done some really cool Euros, and that is Rebirth later this year on Kickstarter from the Good Doctor.
Yeah, I'm just checking out Mighty Boards and seeing they
Yes.
did Art Society this last year. Days of Ire, they have a bunch of different releases of. I wonder, are you aware if there's a bunch of Reiner Knizia titles with him, or is he new with this publisher?
I think this is new for this publisher
Okay.
because the stuff they do tends to be a little more complex. Stuff like Evacuation Earth. And they did another one called Hamlet, a little more on the complex Euro side. So I feel like I believe this is the first one they've done with the Good Doctor.
Cool.
Yeah.
And looks like they're based in Malta.
Yep.
Kickstarter launching unknown.
Wow. And Tantalora says the first 2 games of Knizia were released in 1990, so 34 years of Knizia games already. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Really?
It's been a while since he used that math degree. Should we challenge him to a math off?
The math off. Hey, Doc, count.
Yeah.
Count.
I'll man call you.
The Op Games is in the house. Hi, Op Games. Thank you for joining us. Good to see y'all. We're just talking about all the games that we're excited about. There's tons of stuff that comes out every day, and we'd like to highlight it here on Good Morning Society. I also like to highlight the mugs that we have because the tea is really starting to kick in, Becca. I can feel it now.
You feel that lemon ginger non-caffeinated kick?
Yeah, it totally kicked in.
Another shout out in the house. We got Almost Kirk. That's our Ross Thompson, the one and only.
Hey, Ross.
He says this has been a great update for this space. I like enjoying this while I work. That's so sweet, Ross.
Nice, Ross. Thank you.
Hey, next time you're up here on a Wednesday, you gotta pop in.
Yeah.
Talk about some games with us.
Let's have some guests come in. That would be cool.
He's always got his finger on the pulse, this
He
man.
does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
Next game, Becca. I'm very excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them, but this one especially, Shards of Infinity, the Saga collection.
Okay.
Now, Shards of Infinity, this is a deck building game that I absolutely loved from a couple of years ago. They've now released a bunch of expansions. What this is, it's sort of like cyberpunky, futuristic.
Ooh, so spooky.
Yeah, spookiness. But it takes deck building, one-on-one deck building, and really streamlines it down to like a 20, 25-minute game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Love that.
From the designers of Ascension, and it's Gary Arendt and Justin Gary. They made Ascension. They actually launched their own company because of with Ascension. They were former Magic professional players.
Yeah,
right?
I know about Ascension.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they took Ascension and said, hey, can we make it faster, and can we make it just more for a two-player game? And that's what they did with Shards of Infinity.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know, Magic was originally supposed to be a 15-minute game.
Yeah.
But then you have control players, then you have commander, and then we're so far from that those days. But I love just being able to streamline this, and deck building is building as you play versus, of course, I build Magic decks in my free time. But building as you play, you get that element of choosing, but you have to make those split-second decisions.
Right.
You have to buy something up before your opponent does.
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of all of the quest games. Hero Quest. No, that's not what it's called. Sky.
Hero Realms?
Hero Realms.
Yes.
Yeah, Sky Realms.
Yes. Hero Realms,
that genre.
Star Realms, the genre of, hey, let's do deck building, but super fast. They cut out all the meat. Like, you have Dominion, like the classic deck building, but that can take a little while. Like Star Realms, Hero Realms, and now Shards of Infinity, they do the whole, let's cut out the fat and just go straight to, the good stuff.
Right, and Dominion's not a battler. This is a battler, which kind of gives you that more punchy energy at the table versus that, like,
punchy energy.
I'm doing something, my engine's happening, I went off in, the game's over, and you don't, whatever you're doing is irrelevant now.
Exactly. So, this, what the Saga collection does, it gathers everything. So you're going to get all the expansions, all the promos, anything that you miss, it's all in one box. And they have a solo mode, which I've tried. The solo mode is really good. It's hard. I've lost quite a few times to the solo, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how great this game is. What I really enjoy about this, Becca, it has you have your currency in deck builders, like, hey, you got to come up with so many gold or whatever to buy your next card. This has that, but it has a secondary currency called the light, the shards of light. So basically, you build up the shards. If you ever get to, I think it's 20, you just automatically win the game. Boom, game over.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Secondary win condition for everyone all the time?
I love it. Yes,
Okay.
It's so good. Basically, you captured all the light and you've blown up the world and game over. It's brilliant. So.
Yeah, well, thematically, I feel it. It makes sense.
Yeah, so cool. So that is Shards of Infinity, the Saga collection, folks. So be sure to keep an eye on that. That will be out July of this year. So just right around the corner, actually.
I mean, how is it already almost summer? I just blinked on New Year's.
Gosh, it's April already. It's
I
April.
can't.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we were saying yesterday, a month is such a short amount of time.
Totally.
I just, with mommy life, things need to be booked much in advance.
Absolutely.
But to that end, I did figure out a time to play Blood on the Clocktower with people around the studio. So let me know if you want to come in. I'll let you know the deets.
Absolutely.
Finally, that is. We got to do an update on my Blood on the Clocktower progress.
That's right.
Each episode.
It's that time for the show right now.
Yeah. Becca's Blood on the Clocktower corner.
Corner.
Ruel, did you prepare a sports hour as well?
I
just So we
did.
hit all our normal segments?
I did. We have sports
Specifically
hour coming
baseball.
up real soon, folks. We're going to talk about those Los Angeles Dodgers, everyone's favorite team. But so Blood on the Clocktower. What's new in Becca's world of Blood?
Well,
on the
I
Clocktower?
did see for April 1st, they released a new character called the Fool. And there is controversy around this character because the first time the Fool dies, they do not die. And death is a very important mechanic in Blood on the Clocktower. So someone not being able to die and having to kill them twice, either by a demon killing them twice in the night or an execution happening twice, it's really powerful.
So was this a real thing? Because you know how companies come out with their April Fool's jokes or whatever.
Sure.
So was this an actual thing, or?
I mean, look. So the way the characters work on Blood on the Clocktower. Do you have 7 minutes? Okay.
We're gonna talk about Dune.
Yeah. Okay. Picture a desert planet, and in that desert planet, there's a small town called Ravenswood Bluff, where there's a demon. This is not in Dune. Don't want to confuse anyone. Okay, this is just Blood on the Clocktower. So there are many, many characters, and they're all, basically in the wiki that you can find. And you can create your own script. And a script is a collection of the characters that are in one particular playthrough, like the script you could use. There's the 3 starter ones that come in the box that you can buy now, and then there's so many more online that some are put out by Blood on the Clocktower, but lots more custom ones that people make. And Blood on the Sandworm is a really good name for the script we're going to make, all about being an Atreides or a Fremen or a Harkonnen.
Love it.
This is my calling. I know what script I need to make now. So it's just a possibility. Probably people who are not a fan of this disruptive mechanic are not going to put it in their scripts, but some really fun things could happen with that.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, folks. There's the latest update from Blood on Clocktower.
There you go.
Becca's Corner.
Blood.
I thought for sure you were going to say Dune.
I thought about it.
Next time.
The wheels were turning.
Yeah.
And then sand got caught in them.
Let's move on to the next game. We've got a game called Babylon up next.
Ooh.
And it looks like a Euro-y. Is this, let's see, designers Olivier Gregor, who made Tiwanaku, and also a game called Ducky Ducky, which I don't know what that is, but Ducky Ducky had me right there. This is about King Nebuchadnezzar. The king of Babylon wanted to honor his young wife, and by doing that, he wanted to create gardens, which I believe ended up being, here's a little prototype. Look
now
at this.
here's some 3-dimensionality. This reminds me of
at that.
Santorini.
Yeah, that's exactly it. When I saw this, I'm like Santorini, right? But maybe Santorini on steroids, because there's like a lot going on.
There's slip and slides.
Yeah, look at the slip and slides.
Do you ever play Santorini and thought, but what if there were slip and slides?
Slip and slide Santorini, folks. That's what you got here.
There you
Look,
go.
it's got all kinds of, it's a hanging garden. So you're digging into the quarry and you're trying to please or appease King Nebuchadnezzar and say, hey, I'm the greatest architect in the land. I've made a killer slip and slide thing here for your wife. And there's
Can
no
he
better,
ever really be pleased, though?
Yeah, there's no better way to honor someone than a slip and slide.
That's what I've always said.
Yeah, that's an old family saying.
That's actually the 8-year wedding anniversary material.
The slip and slide.
The slip and slide anniversary.
Is that coming up for you, or?
Yeah, 8.
Wow, congrats,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
2016. This is in August.
Nice.
Yeah.
Michelle and I, we've celebrated our 8th already, but we didn't get a slip and slide.
Oh, well, it's never too late
Okay,
to
that's
celebrate the
true.
8th. That's what they say in
I owe you,
slip
babe.
and slide fan world.
Hey, we've got another game coming up called Sakana Stack, and I want to say
Better
I hope I'm saying this right. Sakana Stack, Sakana Stack.
Arrakis Stack Dune.
Dune. This is a card game that's going to be coming out next year. I wanted to highlight it because it's a climbing, shedding card game, and you're playing stacks of seafood. That alone, I want to play with stacks of seafood. That's just a hobby of mine that I enjoy.
I have no
occasionally.
problem with shedding games as a mechanic. I do have a problem with the word.
Shedding.
I don't know. I don't like it.
What else can we say? It's Ditching, yeah. So this ditching game, folks, you are playing cards, trying to ditch all of your cards, and the first one to do that wins. Really straightforward game, but again, it's the theme will grab me.
Look,
That's all
you
it takes.
are all about seafood.
Yeah.
Any game that involves seafood, really a food-themed game, seems to always get you.
Pretty much. I'm an easy man to please, folks.
Tea?
Yeah.
You like a tea game, I've noticed?
A tea game, yeah.
I'm sorry, it's empty.
Oh, it's empty. Well, hey, don't forget to get your Good Morning Society mugs, folks.
Yeah, and yours will never be empty because when you think the meeple has no mug, the meeple who has a mug has a meeple that has a mug, and they have coffee in there. So, yeah.
You're always gonna be safe.
The next version of this mug that we do, it's gonna have a little like 3-dimensional mug coming out, and it's gonna go to another mug so you can store extra coffee, and then have a slip and slide between them.
There's gonna be a
working on.
sandworm in there too while we're at it.
Oh yeah, coming up in the middle. Have you seen those mugs that have like a character in the middle?
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have one with the sloth that it's like a surprise when you get to the bottom of your cup.
That's awesome.
Also so hard to clean.
It's got to be a nightmare in the dishwasher. One final game for today: Twisted Trumpets.
One more game.
One more game.
One more game.
Wait,
Everybody,
all
okay.
together now. One more game. Okay.
Okay, now we're good. Thank you, folks. This one, first-time designer Matthew Rodella. It's a competitive tile laying game, so we like tile layers here, and you're basically.
Hold on. We need a disclosure here.
Oh, do we?
FTC. Yeah, Play to Z is the publisher I'm seeing.
Is it really?
You didn't know?
I didn't even know.
You are an investor in Play to Z.
I had no idea. Oh my gosh, folks! I seriously had no idea.
This actor here.
Yeah. Wow.
Oops. No, I'm just kidding. It was genuine.
That is so funny.
But a first-time designer that looks like he really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still blown away that this is a Play to See game. I love the concept of this. You're just trying to make the wackiest, most brilliant trumpet of the land. As you can see here, you're laying down tiles. I'm so excited about this. I had no idea this was a Play to See game. I love that we have a tile laying game.
Yes.
Man,
I mean, a first-time designer that obviously has a lot of board game experience because this looks snappy. This looks tight. I'm so into this. I wonder if there's a timed element.
I don't know if there is. What you're doing though, as you go along, you're building your trumpet. You are gonna hit those scrolls. There's gonna give you special abilities, and you're gonna have secret missions as well, trying to, create the greatest bugle in the land.
Can we just talk about the fashion? I mean, the elf curl of the shoes, the poodle with the poodle pompadour, the shaved puffs, and this curly Q on the hat. This man is fashion itself, I dare say.
Yes, definitely. Now, what did you call the shoe thing? I've never heard that word. The elf.
Elf?
Elf. Okay.
You've never heard of an elf?
I have now. Yeah, so there it is, folks. What is it called? Twisted Trumpets from our friends at Play to Z Games.
Yay, Play to Z.
Play to Z. That is killing me that I didn't know that.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Becca, for pointing that out.
But wait, we have things on the table.
Look at this, folks.
Should we open them?
I say yes.
Okay. Did we set up? Oh, we did set up a top down. Well, that's even more exciting.
Yeah, look at that.
So here we have Space Lion Divide and Conquer, designed by Chris Solis. And Chris is someone we met at Gamma Expo, who is so lovely. Hung out, and he was kind enough to send us a copy of his game. And we're gonna show it to you right now. So this is for 2 to 5 players, published by Solus Game Studio. And this is take command of one of 4 asymmetric armies. In a huge battle, deploy your units strategically and carefully. It's a competitive dueling game for up to 5 players.
Love it.
Let's see, what do we have here?
Those player boards or wow.
I'm
Great
feeling
art.
like character boards, perhaps. This one in particular is calling my name. Ooh. Here, give this rule book a look-see.
Okay, my type of rule book, short and sweet. Look at that, folks. And lots of pictures. Gotta love that.
Ooh. You love the
Okay.
pictures.
Yeah.
And then there's a... It's an ASMR stream. Okay. Let me in.
Oh, it does have
This
a
is
solo
child
mode.
proof.
Yeah.
I can't get in.
There you go.
Ooh, here are the player boards.
Ooh, nice. Oh, wow.
All right.
Very nice composed. These
Here's
are,
the solo mode deck.
Yep.
Components are gorgeous.
Solid and sturdy.
Yeah.
So apparently with the solo mode, you have AI armies, so you can add that to a multiplayer game as well. So you can play a 2-player game with an AI opponent included, or you can just play straight up solo. So that's always a cool thing. You have your achievements here. As you pew, 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 you can earn different achievements. I always love a good glossary, Becca. A good glossary is always a good thing, and it includes the icons and stuff. So another way to get you ramped up into the game that much quicker.
All right, well done, Chris Solis. This is a gorgeous looking game, Space Lion. Make sure to check it out. It's, I think, let's see if it's available coming out later this year. And I think it was crowdfunded. Not sure about that.
These are nice and chunky. Look at these tiles. Wow.
And actually, let's pull her off to the side. Do you want to open Pocket Paragons there?
Yeah, this is also from Solus Game Studio. I'm somewhat familiar with this. I know they've sent it over to me before, but
nice.
I haven't played it yet.
Let's see. Designer on front is Brian McKay.
Brian McKay, there's that. And let's give this an open.
And there's
Apparently this is adult proof.
Oh boy. While you're doing that, there's one more thing I want to highlight.
Get the old keys.
See, at home, I got my X-Acto knife at the ready
Same.
for all boxes.
Yep. Okay, so we use the old keys here. That'll do the job. So Pocket Paragon. So this is Origins. Open up this box. This is a 2-player game, 3 to 15 minutes. So another quick battler. I'm always a fan of that. And we've got the nice art here. Brian McKay, designer. And let's open this up. Boom. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And this is the 2023 rulebook. So this has been updated. And again, another short and sweet rulebook to get you jump right into the game. Now, they do have a master rulebook. You're going to use the QR code if you want a little more in-depth explanation. Let's see, it looks like health
Ooh.
meters.
Boy, we love a dial, a manual
Yep.
dial for health counters. Yeah, I'm getting like a little bit of King of Tokyo vibes.
Yep.
Just short and sweet battler.
Yep.
Card decks for each player.
Excuse me. And then you have the characters here. Looks like these are probably dividers for the cards.
And right on the back, they have a quick summary of symbol types, which I always appreciate. Just keep those at hand, close at hand. Good symbols.
Yep.
Easy to find, easy to read.
Love it.
Pocket Paragons. There's one more thing on the interwebs I would like to talk about and shout out from our friends at Hit Point Press.
Oh, yeah.
They were kind enough to ask us to make a video for them, so I just wanted to disclose that. And I really want to show this Kickstarter for a beautiful artwork all about dragons made of flowers. I was thinking about it when looking at Space Lion and
Yeah.
that floral monster.
Nice.
If you will go to our outline, you'll find a link to their Kickstarter right now. This is called The Field Guide to Floral Dragons. And they funded so fast. It's currently at $364,000. Not only is it a gorgeous art book of floral dragons, it also has a 5e Dungeons & Dragons supplement within it. Right at the bottom of this episode. And oh my gosh. They did an amazing job with this. All of the art is just stunningly beautiful. We'll get it up in just a moment. But if you ever wanted a carnation that could maybe breathe fire, or maybe a daffodil that was ready to steal your gold, the Field Guide to Floral Dragons is for you. Oh yeah, let's take a little peek at the video. Look, it's like an int and a dragon made a baby.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow, these are all flowers.
Yeah,
That
so
is beautiful.
if you either want these to be maybe a familiar in your game or a villain or maybe just a misunderstood NPC dragon character, you can find a lot of inspiration in this artwork, and it's able to be backed right now. They've got 10 more days to go from Hit Point Press, which does incredible stuff. They've got a big year coming out.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, speaking of beautiful things,
Is there more? Oh, yeah.
are they getting audio on this? Am I talking through a?
No.
Okay, whew, good. Yeah, look, it just keeps going. We need to get you more tea, man.
I know.
Is there a water bottle on the ground over there that you see, perhaps? We should hydrate you.
Yes, thank you. Floral dragons. Wow, what an interesting concept. This is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the studio vodka. We'll save that for later. Yeah.
Studio vodka. Oh, okay. So yeah, field guide to floral dragons. Welcome to Mysterious World of Floral Dragons. Unusual, thank you, Ray. And elusive creatures inspired by real world and plants. Look at this. They've crushed their goal. They wanted
Truly.
10 Gs. And
It's insane.
oh my gosh.
I mean, did they really? No, everyone wants more than their goal on Kickstarter. That's how it works.
Yep.
But they smashed whatever they were thinking with this, I'm sure. I
Yeah.
mean, truly an astounding turnout of people coming out for the floral dragons. Love to see it.
beautiful.
And now you've got some spicy water.
Yeah, and I'm good to go. Much better now.
I'm not sure
Ray.
if that actually is going to help, but it's what I found.
Yeah, hey.
It's
I'll take
good.
it.
Love it.
Thank
All
you.
right. Now there is a segment that you have created
Oh, yeah.
that we should do before we head out for the day.
Yeah. So as you know, folks, we like to share our Shelfies. We had some last week and the week before. I wanted to throw it back, Becca. I wanted to go back to the innocent time, 2015, many, many years ago.
Ooh.
When I first got into the hobby, and I was super excited getting all these new games. And this is my Shelfie from 2015 , folks. Yeah, look at all those hot games from back in the day.
Wow. I
Yeah.
was playing a lot of Sushi Go in 2015,
I
let me
was
tell you.
too.
Seven Wonders. Yep, that was on my shelf.
Yep. I want to highlight this game, though. Have you ever played Pit?
No.
Pit is a game, I kid you not, that's been around since 1927 or 28.
Do I see a spinner?
No, that's a bell.
A bell.
So what you're trying to do is corner the market. You're buying and selling goods.
Ah.
Yeah, so literally it's like Go Fish real-time version. And every single game I played just devolves into shouting. Like
In a good way?
In a really good way. So you have the different items like, wheat or corn or whatever. And you're trying to corner the market on those items by collecting all those cards. So each one has 9. So I may have 5 wheat and I want the other 4. So I'm going to say, I want to trade, corn for wheat. And then someone will trade you that. And then when you corner the market, you just slam the bell, corner the market on wheat, and you've won that round.
That sounds really fun. I love games that involve yelling and are, again, quick to teach.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And so I still have this copy. This one's not from 1928. This one's probably from about 2015. But yeah, most of these games I still have. You see my copy of Scrabble there? That is a well-worn copy.
Yeah, actually, my copy of Scrabble is one of my gateway games into the hobby.
Nice.
And I have the briefcase looking one.
Oh.
It folds in half, and then when it folds down, it has wheels that it spins on, and then there's drawers for the pieces.
You've got like the super deluxe version.
That's how much I played Scrabble.
Wow.
I had a very well-worn copy, and
Nice.
it was time to upgrade. Also, Suro, I like to say the T because it's such a big, pretty T. Talk about beautiful dragons that I'm going to let run me into a storm.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a gorgeous dragon game. Guillotine, 5 Crowns. I still have Guillotine. That one, a friend of mine gave that to me many years ago. But as you can see, that's an OG Love Letter a copy, and also Zombie Dice. Some of the first games I played when I got in the hobby, and they still mean a lot to me. I keep a lot of these for sentimental value, if not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we still play Ticket to Ride on a somewhat regular basis, but everything else is definitely sentimental value.
Ticket to Ride really stands the test of time.
It does.
Does Seven Wonders ever make it to your table?
Every now and then. It wasn't as It wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be. Like, I know a lot of people love it.
It is great for me at the time, and
Yeah.
now gaming has evolved in such a way. But it is one that I definitely, is a classic of my table, especially because it has a higher player count.
That
which
is true.
Again, I have brought up many times,
Yeah.
often becomes a problem at a game night. Unless I am inviting people to this studio to play a specific game, there's always more than 4, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's from 2015. So that's where I got my start. And folks, if you have Shelfies of your own, whether brand new or from when you first started the hobby, we'd love to see them. Join the Discord, drop your Shelfies there. We will share them here with the rest of the world. I like having this picture. It's just a nice way to say, hey, you're at one point in the hobby and you've changed, and it's almost like seeing your children grow up.
It's like marking your height on the wall. But
Exactly.
your height is measured in board game prowess.
Yes. You start here, you go here, and eventually you take up the rest of the house with all your games.
Yeah, or the rest of the studio in this case.
Yeah.
We just got some donations, and now we need to give our own donations. Also curious about people's thoughts on culling the collection. You've done this many times.
Yeah, it gets easier the more you do it. The first time's pretty tough.
It's scary.
It really is.
Honestly, I've never really culled the collection except to put everything in the studio inside of my house. But then that's like the safety blanket version.
Totally.
And then I make Jake get rid of it.
That's the way to do it. Just get Jake to do it all.
I mean, I think this solution could work for anyone. Just find Jake and give him all your games.
Exactly. That's how I like to think of it.
Don't tell him I said that.
Culling is great. I totally recommend it because we have too many games, and it's just you run out of space, and sometimes your partners say, hey, we need more space in our home.
And you say, one more game! One more game! I think that's it for us today.
That's perfect, yeah.
Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Make sure you join the Discord and share your Shelfie with us. We would love to see what's on your shelf. Maybe you want to submit a before and after of, we could do a compare and contrast of your particular shelf since we're doing this flashback shelf situation. And let us know in the Discord as well. There's a new channel for things you want to see shouted out on this show. Look, you already did that and we didn't mention those, but we will next week. Don't you worry. Also, I will be posting a link next week in chat where you can follow on Spotify where the new episode of my Call of Cthulhu RPG podcast will be posted when they happen. We'll also do some promotion around that. I saw some people asking about podcast in chat. But yeah, we're filming later today and I'm very excited about that. Filming, but will be a podcast primarily. Recording, I should say.
Yes.
Anything else from you? Other stuff you got going on? Streams people should tune into?
Yeah, as always, tune in on Tuesdays, folks, on Rado's channel. I do the R&R show there. With Chris and Ray. We have a great time. And you can find me on my channel, Tabletop Tonight, playing all the board games and doing live streams and whatnot. So come on over and hang out with me and play some games.
Yeah, and with that, we'll see you next week. And remember, one more game!